Hi, everybody, and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 371 for September 10th, 2020. I am one of your hosts, Trevor.
Oh, I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Adriel.
All right, the gang is all back, except for Random Dave is out doing random things to printers.
Tractor feeds, running them over with tractors. I don't know. Something to do with the dot matrix ribbon getting jammed. Yeah.
I think it was a 3D.
Do you remember those? Oh, that was so exciting way back when.
Oh,
When you were in school using your VIC-20, Kelly, is that when you had dot matrix experience, really?
Yeah,
Do you remember
actually.
dot matrix and hi-fi stereos and 8-tracks, said Kelly just now?
Yep, I do. You know, it was good times. Today is shit. Anyways, let's go.
I'm trying to go. This is me trying to go. And actually, this is me stalling because this is me realizing that I didn't put anything in for the Calgary Shooting Center. However, they're still the sponsor of what we did in This Week in Guns. They are also Canada's premier firearms retailer. And this week, they're selling stuff and things. And you should go to their website and check those things out for super awesome deals.
Do you remember when you said, okay, I'm good. I'm going to update everything
Right,
this week?
No, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I said it. It
You
sounds
did.
like something I would
Can I
say.
throw something in? They've got the
Yeah.
Remington Model 870 Police Low Profile RS shotgun.
Shit, that's going to cost me because I need it to complement my my 870,
Oh,
Not my
well,
870, my
here's what it looks
590.
like.
my retrograde. Yes,
Here's
let's
what it
show
looks
this.
like. Yep,
Oh, sorry, guys.
that's all right.
Damn.
There's only one left. Uh-oh.
There's
Uh-oh.
only one. There's only
Okay,
one.
rock, paper, scissors. I want to
Rock-
see you fight.
I am
Rock,
not.
paper,
I am
shut
not
up. I'll
spending
just-
$940 on a pump shotgun. Not
And
on
you
my
know-
life.
Neither am I. Especially
Oh,
for
come on.
No, man, I got my 590
I'm
retrograde.
just saying, would you ever pay that?
Would I pay that? Not in a million years.
Exactly. No, I'm
No.
saying if you called up Jeff and said, Jeff, I want this.
Oh, would it cost me that? No, it wouldn't cost me that.
So be real, right?
That's over.
I'm
This
thinking
one's
about the
over.
listeners, Kelly. I don't
Okay.
think this is in their best interest. I don't
That
think
was
it's
always
Aw,
about
this is
you.
what I'd
spend their
buy.
money.
This is what I'd buy: an A350 or an A400.
Okay, so for the
that was
listeners
before
that
I
aren't
found- yeah.
viewers, what is an A350 or A400? What kind of
They're
gun is that?
semi-auto. They've got a really nice gas system on them.
It's a Beretta.
It's
Start
a
with
Beretta.
that.
It's a
It's a
Beretta shotgun.
semi-automatic Beretta
Scatter
12
gun.
gauge.
Fires many projectiles unless you opt for one that has just one projectile. That's an option too. They're a duck
That
gun.
is a 20 millimeter bore.
Oh, yep.
Let me
Huh?
see. Let me see. How
Ian
much
put
was
out
that?
a video on that. 2 days ago.
Oh, did he really?
Hmm.
Just
Interesting.
Ian Runkle. He's got a YouTube channel now, and he's
Yeah.
been doing like
He's been
lots
pumping
of
out
firearms
stuff.
videos. It's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool. We
Yeah.
should include that in the show notes and have him on.
we should have
we
him
should.
on.
We
Yep.
should have him on.
He's in my hometown. We should.
There you go. We'll have him over.
Yeah.
Invite him over for beers and stick a microphone in his face. I'm a journalist.
Possible.
This is how we operate. This is
Isn't he
an ambush
blogging
interview.
and podcasting now anyways?
This guy's
Yeah,
on
kind of.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he is.
Anyway, go to the Calgary Shooting Center and buy a shotgun. Tell them Slamfire sent you.
There you go.
Let's get started. What we did this week in guns. I shot at least one match, maybe more. When was I on last? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Studying
Two-
sucks. It for
2
sure
weeks
wasn't.
ago? 3 weeks
Yeah.
ago?
It wasn't last week because last
No.
week I was out of town for a race.
I'll tell
but
you.
The week before that, I was at the provincials. Was I on before the provincials? Anyway, the Hampton Pistol and Rifle Club in Hampton, New Brunswick, near St. John, hosted the New Brunswick IPSC Provincial Championships. It was a level 3 match, and their team did another awesome job. Lynn was very much involved. She may have been the match director, like the proper match director, or just part of the team. I don't know. She was the person I communicated with the most whenever I was being a bitch and crying about something, which of course happened because, you know, I can be a bitch sometimes, and I was. But in the end, it all worked out well. It was a a good match. What was it? 18 stages over 2 days. A little bit of rain, which is, what are you going to do? You keep
You guys
shooting.
have them fancy wax targets or no?
They had something like that, but not that exactly.
Oh, I'm really curious about those because like patching.
I use.
What's that?
I think we've used them at SummerSlam now for the last 3 years. What do you want to know?
Are they like amazing?
Are they any good? Yeah.
Would you be like, I could never go back to regular targets again?
Regular targets are for hobos and homeless people to build shelters out of. They
sleep on. They're your blanket.
Right.
Yes.
Non-waxed dipstick targets are what homeless people use to lay on under the overpass.
Do you have all your targets as those waxed ones now, or just some when it gets rainy?
So here's how it is. Every year when we purchase targets for SummerSlam, whatever's left becomes our level 2 targets. So we're using wax targets 100%. We only place one target order per season, and it's for SummerSlam, and there's always extra. And then, of course, if it's a small club level Friday night match, we just use used targets that are in good condition that we repatch. We would never bother to buy a non-wax target ever again. So they cost more.
Pure wax.
Pure wax. Now, they are water resistant.
They're not waterproof?
Right, because it's hard to seal the edge. You're talking about cardboard, right? But they will last much, much longer than a regular target. Now, patching, Adriel, the key is you must keep your patches dry. If your patches get wet, they're not going to stick to the wax target. So keep your patches in a Ziploc baggie in your pocket. Don't let your patches get wet, and you are good to go.
I would say that would be worth it, just not to bag, because bagging is like not horrible, but it's pretty bad.
It's very bad,
and it's an unfortunate like fact that some people will have a crappier time trying to shoot that, trying to shoot bagged, and then the rain might clear up, and then you might unbag, and then someone else doesn't shoot with the bags on.
Yeah, and there's no grounds for a reshoot because you shot it bagged and I didn't. It is what it is, and the range master tells you what to do, and you do what you're told.
Yeah.
So sometimes you shoot a stage with the bags on, the next squad becomes behind you, and they take them off. So when I'm range master, I'm like, I ain't playing that game. You leave them on until I tell you to take them off, and that helps cut down on the argument. It's a big shit sandwich, and everybody takes a bite.
Yep.
Everybody has to embrace the suck. You're all shooting with bags on until I actually see sun and a rainbow, because they spend a lot of time putting them on, take them off, putting them on, take them off. But keeping them on, the targets are going to last longer. Con, it makes patching a pain in the dick.
Yeah, slows it down.
Some people don't like shooting at a target with a bag on. Well, I'm sorry, but it doesn't bother me in the least. The middle is the middle. Regardless of whether if you're trying to see the scoring zones on Nipsic target, you got bigger problems than whether or not there's bags on, right?
I would say it's helpful for people who maybe are more junior and they forgot which targets they shot, because at least if you forgot, you could look and see like those ones have holes in them. If they got a bag on it, it's kind of hard to see the holes.
If you can't remember what targets you shot, you got bigger problems than whether or not, right? Yep. So I'm sorry, I can't be. I'm not with you on that one. So.
I like the idea of wax targets. I like the idea of just running those and having like a crap ton of them. And if the forecast calls for rain, just use those.
I have a question for you. Compared to just a paper target, what's the difference? What's the cost difference?
It's like twice, Kelly.
Okay.
That's worth it though, because rain just wrecks regular targets, and you gotta have bags, and you gotta bag them, unbag them. They get wet, they curl, and now you gotta staple new targets up. And it's like the time savings is worth it.
Heck yeah.
And also target savings, because some of them are just toast as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So anyways, okay. And you can reuse the wax ones.
You can reuse any one that doesn't get wet.
No, I know. But
cool.
Okay.
So 18 stages. The bulk of my squad was the Restagush crew. We did more than 9 on the first day, and it started to rain, so we packed it in. I don't want to name names, but there was somebody on my squad that was cold, tired, and hungry and wanted pizza at the hotel. So we didn't. Nope, not me. I had the most amount of incentive to stay than anyone, but I went with the crowd, and it was a decision that I regret because there was an awesome banquet and a special meal made for my
Aw.
keto ass. Yeah, it was keto, chili, bacon, and avocados. And I went back to the hotel for shitty Pizza Light pizza and missed out on. So somebody took the trouble to create a special meal for me at the banquet, which is just phenomenal. Who gets that kind of service and attention? And I didn't even friggin' stay, and I still hate myself. And I don't know if I can ever make it up to that person, but she knows that she's an angel and I love her.
Mike,
And,
put your mic in front of your mouth there.
yeah,
There we go.
I'm just whining anyway. It's not worth listening to. So anyway, we missed the banquet, which is unfortunate.
Send
we
her
missed,
flowers.
I don't know if she would take flowers, but I'll take
Send
it
'em
under
anyways.
advisement. Yeah. So anyway, and then there was a prize table. Like we knew we were missing out on the prize table, but there was a consensus to just go. So, and it wasn't perceived very well because the entire squad was just made to reshoot a stage. And so the perception from other people on site was that we were upset that we had to reshoot the stage and we were pissed off and going home. And nothing could have been further from the case. We were told to reshoot the stage. Some questions were asked, they were answered. Everyone was on the same page. We reshot the stage, and everyone on the squad except for one person actually improved their score. So there was no reason to be upset. We were going because somebody was tired and hungry and cold, and that's just how it played out. But it was a bunch of unfortunate circumstances that it literally looked like we took our ball and went home, and I was the ringleader, and it's not how it actually went down.
No. But typically you are the ringleader on a lot of things, though, right?
That's right, and that's why it looked like, oh, he's pissed off and he's taking his people and leaving. And
well, you can honestly say that you weren't pissed off and leaving.
No, and I mean, I tried to talk to the people who I was concerned believe that. When we got to the range next day, to say we were getting the cold shoulder was an understatement. Like there was a very you could feel like a tension in the air. So that was uncool because the IPSC community is small and a lot of these people are awesome and dear friends of mine, and so it's just not a cool feeling. But anyway, I think it's all been cleared up, I hope, and
it's good.
Yeah, there needs to be more addressing me directly and less talking about me to other people, and things will be it's one thing, boy, you never have to worry about what I'm thinking. If you know me, you know I speak my mind. I wear my heart on my sleeves. So the award ceremony happened, and then the AGM happened. There's one change on the executive. We have a new treasurer. So that's pretty cool. Good guy, real good guy. He bought me a scotch at the last year's provincial banquet, which was awesome.
Do I know this person?
I don't know if you've ever met him or not. His name is Tim Gillis. He hasn't been.
No, I know that name though.
Yeah,
I chat with him a lot.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Gaming thing?
No, gun stuff on Discord.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, super nice guy. And now he's doing the books for us, so that's really exciting. What else? So results. I love this part of this story. I picked up Muffin and Pat won Classic last year. So Pat gets in the truck with the Classic Cup. Here's how our awards work. It's a sanctioned level 3 match, which means it can be shot by anybody around the world. So whoever wins the match wins the match. If there's 10 people in their division, they get the President's Medal. They get the first place plaque. The New Brunswicker, the top New Brunswicker, whether it's 4th place or 1st place, the top New Brunswicker gets the cup and the title provincial champ. So Muffin and Pat get in the truck, and Pat gets in with the cup. And Muffin looks at him and says, "You might as well go put that back in the house pack because it's coming home with me this time." And sure as shit, Muffin won the provincials and is now our classic provincial champ. So Pat won it last year, brought it to Hampton in my truck. Muffin won it this year and brought it back. I thought I was losing to these guys. Every time I would go up and shoot a stage and I'd walk off pounding my chest going, "Yeah, bitches, I just put on a clinic. That's how you shoot that." They'd come off and show me their hit factor and I'd be like, "I'm just a punk. I don't know why I do this."
You don't. Yeah.
So, but in the end, I smoked them both pretty good. But it certainly
did ya?
didn't. Oh yeah, but it didn't feel like it along the way. I'm not kidding, Kelly. Like I lost track of how many times I thought I just burned a stage to the ground, only to have them do it better.
Sometimes
So
consistency is more
Yeah.
important. Like I've had a couple of matches where I see other people shooting and they're like, "Oh, he beat me there. Oh, he beat me there." But it's like, but what I didn't see is they had a complete blowout over there. Like the match ending, they had this guy over here had an issue over here, a
Yeah.
jam or some bad double feed or something like that.
and that's how I pulled it off, Adriel. I stayed. I did good on the good ones, on the important ones, the ones that had carried a lot of value towards the overall. So Jim Smith, who is the president of the NROI and a member of IPSC Nova Scotia, he won the classic division, and he also would have won first senior. So he's got a President's Medal for winning the first place production division, and he may have had another award for, he should have got another award. Yeah, he would get first place overall for production optics, and he would get first senior for production optics. So he should have 2 first place plaques coming to him and a President's Medal. And I think Richard has his first place senior, which doesn't belong to him, belongs to Jim. And I've got Jim's first place plaque, which I mistakenly took. Richard offered me the President's Medal. I was like, no, that goes to the guy who won the match. I get second, but I think I probably said I get the cup and second place. Jim gets first place and the medal. Anyway, I was just over 8% of him, so he was 100%. I was like 92. So that's a pretty big gap. He won quite. His win was sound. You know what I mean? It wasn't all that close. The production division guys were close, though. We're talking like 0.5%, I think, between second and first place. Like it was super close. So yeah. So I didn't practice once all summer, but I did win production optics division at every match I went to and shot production optics. So I did good among the New Brunswickers in that division, and I won the title. It's my 4th different IPSC New Brunswick title now. Not that I won, I think, standard twice and then classic once and PCC last year and now production optics. So there is a match coming up in Nova Scotia called the Atlantics. I don't know if we've ever done Atlantics before. We used to do them in archery. The nationals were canceled for IPSC. Most people, I'm sure, are aware. They would have happened already. So because we can't go to the nationals, we want to give our teams a spot to compete. So we're going to have the Atlantics. So that'll include IPSC shooters from New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and the Newfoundland contingent will come over as well and send the teams that they were going to send to nationals. So it should be a really awesome match, a big match. And the way that the team, there was I don't understand it all. I've had like a couple of people explain to me, but it's like, okay, whoever won the title is the team captain for that division and they've got to pick their team. And I'm like, no, sorry. I'm sure you guys thought this was a good idea when you discussed it, but I'm not interested in being a team captain. I'm not interested in tracking down people to be on a team. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to shoot Classic at Nationals, and I'd like to shoot Classic at the Atlantics. So Muffin is the captain for Classic. I've asked to be on Muffin's team in the production optics guys, whoever the guy who was in third place, so second place New Brunswicker, I explained to him that if you want it, your team captain, contact IPSC New Brunswick. If you want it, sort it out. If not you, then IPSC New Brunswick section coordinator and the selection committee, they can sort out the production optics team. I'm gonna jump ship and go to the classic team. So Muffin will appoint me there, and it should all be good. And if I can't get on the classic team, if the section coordinator decides no, I can't go, and the selection committee decides no, I can't go, well then I'll get in the match and shoot classic anyway. So it'll be what it'll be. But I just don't have time to try and put together a classic or a production optics team. So that's it. Adriel. Oh, excuse me, Adriel. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do a thing?
Yeah.
Tell us
I'm
about your
here.
thing.
Do a thing. Talk
Do
about
you
some
did
stuff.
a thing? What did you do?
Yeah, I did a thing. Yeah. Did a thing. Did a CRPS match on Saturday, which I mentioned on Thursday there.
Now,
That was good.
CRPS, that's the one that goes all the way to 300, right?
Yeah, all the way to 300. Yeah. And
So it's like precision rifle, but with a 22.
And a lot of dialing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dialing in your dope and dropping.
Was this
in
your
those
first
22s.
CRPS?
It is my second.
Your second?
And I practiced by shooting the last CRPS match last year.
That was
and
good.
Shooting this one this year. That's my practice.
Well done. It's
I practice
important to
about
practice.
annually. Yeah, annual practice. Yeah. And I had different scope. I didn't even have like a good scope. I had like my third best scope for this kind of thing on my rifle, which was about as good as I cared to put on it. Did it right. Did about as well as I wanted to.
Was that okay? So you did as well as you wanted to. Oh,
Mhm.
did you want to win, or did you want
No.
to come in half?
No,
Right.
top third
Or
is what I
top
wanted
third.
to
Okay.
to do. Yeah, and I did
You
that.
say you came in top third. Good.
Trying to think of what else was interesting. Oh yeah, so I brought my oldest out there, my oldest boy, and Rick was like, "You gotta get him shooting." I'm like, "All right, fine." And he's like, put a big arrow in his hands. So yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll
Nice.
shoot that. Yeah, he did pretty good. He won the youth division, and
I saw that. That's awesome.
yeah, did really well.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun. Yeah, it was like a challenging thing to do, and he did all right. Yeah, we're working on a
Good.
video right now, so we did like lots of video from the event, and we're working on like kind of like a recap of what CRPS is like from mine and his perspective, I guess.
Did he enjoy it?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to
Very
shoot
much so.
anyways, but
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Like I like it's so satisfying hearing that ping, like pulling the trigger and like 2 seconds later, bing.
Ping.
It's way out there. Yeah, and yeah, so I ran that Norinco 512 NS 512 out there. I was by far the cheapest gun on the line, by far. Like I won that competition if there was a competition. And then the next day, Sunday, we went back to the same range and we did the rimfire race guns, which is steel challenge, but 22 pistols, 22 rifles, and modified course of fire, I guess you could say. So like I didn't read the email that Rick sent, and instead I went on YouTube and I looked up like steel challenge. And I'm like, okay, holster, surrender position, I'll practice that a bunch. And if I would have read the email, it would have said no holsters. That would have been smart, reading the email, but
yeah.
no one ever accused me of being smart. So I came with a holster and I didn't need it. Everything's done from low ready. You've got like a cone that you aim at, and that way it works for rifles, pistols, new shooters, experienced shooters. Everyone's kind of in the same area. And then it's just shoot however many pieces of steel and do as fast as you can. Yeah, that was one of the things I was thinking about when you're mentioning, Trevor, that the other guys were beating you at some of the stages. Like I'm not a particularly fast shooter, but I'm really consistent and I can hold it together for a full match. That's really what I'm strong at. I'm not particularly fast at a little string or something like that. Yeah. So I got like second and third for one for rifle, one for pistol. I can't remember which one. I don't care. And Kurt Carson shot that one too, and he liked it. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
that was probably a little bit more approachable for a kid because you're like you're super close. You just
Yeah.
need to ping off the shots and reload and keep going kind of a thing. He did have a rim blowout. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen on a 22, but like the
Yep.
rim like
Yep.
gassed out.
Yeah,
And-
and I was shooting the Squires Bingham that I grew up with. I forget which Squires Bingham. It had a muzzle brake on it that looked like something off of a Thompson machine gun. It was
Mhm.
really cool, nice Monte Carlo stock. Anyway, it was either like a double charge. McClatchy was with me. We were at his range. It blew the extractor out of the gun and maybe even broke the firing pin. It was crazy.
I think this was a high pressure charge because of how much smoke came out the side and the bottom and everything, and the bullet
Yep.
still went too. That
Yep.
that went and everything else went. I was running in my GSG 1911 and in the 1022. I was running CCI mini mags
Mini-mags.
because
Yeah.
they're super consistent, right?
Yeah.
Not this batch. The rim
Oh.
the rim width on them was a little bit off on some of them, and I was getting out of like they weren't quite going into battery.
Oh.
And so I'd get a light strike or I'd get no strike at all. So I switched to Remington Thunderbolts. Those were running great. I didn't bring quite enough for the whole day. I also had some Winchester Wildcat. Which of those different brands do you think had the rim blowout on it?
The Winchester.
The Wildcat, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. That
It
stuff
was a
is
dime point
just
for
hot
me.
garbage. Holy, it's hot garbage. I got it for
Yeah.
cheap. It was like 4 cents per, and I had a whole ton of it, so I thought I'd bring it out. But jeez, yeah. Anyways, he was fine. He just carbon all over his hand, and
Yeah.
and he kept going. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm working on CRPS and a Rimfire Race Guns video to say what they're all about, show some footage of doing it so that people can see what it's about. I put up a post on my website about cheap Glock alternatives. I've been like watching Reddit, and like there's been a couple of people who've been asking about weird guns. Someone asked about like the IWI Masada, and someone asked about, I don't know, some other pistol, and they're all like doing kind of the same thing as the Glock is doing, but cheaper. So I thought, I think what most of these people are actually looking for is a cheap Glock alternative. So maybe I'll put together an article that has all the Canadian prices, like the cheapest price I could possibly find in 10 minutes of Googling per gun kind of a thing. So I post those on my website so that people can see, like, here are the different guns. Here's my
Here's the
extremely biased opinion on it. Someone was saying it wasn't professional enough, so I put a meme in there just to stick it to them.
That does it. No, that really adds to the professionalism every time.
Yeah. It was the you like this garbage? You actually like this garbage? And I put an RPR in his hand, the Remington, not the RPR, the Remington pistol,
RP9?
whatever, RP9. Yeah, I put an RP9 in his hand and made him say, "You actually like this garbage." Let's see. Yeah, just to piss off the 5 Remington owners out there. Let's see here. Oh yeah, and as I was in there, I checked my YouTube. My YouTube is over 10 million views cumulative.
Oh, cool.
And my website just passed 2 million articles read, kind of a thing, at the same time.
Oh.
So that's kind of neat. Yeah. And then I am prepping up for this weekend, because this weekend is the Chaz 3-gun 2-day Battle of Alberta big match. Yeah.
Did you get a chance to go and shoot your? You weren't shooting your. Was it your WK that you were going to shoot
My
at it?
MCR? I did.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When did I do that?
Okay.
Last weekend? I don't even know. I know I
You
shot
were-
it though. I shot it with that changed pin, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Turns out, if you
Oh yeah,
use
you know you
standard
talked about that
off-the-shelf,
last week. Yeah.
if you use off-the-shelf components, they just work for some reason. Yeah. That's what I would recommend, using off-the-shelf components, what everyone else uses. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a good match. I mean, I'm camping out at the range for the whole weekend, which is kind of nice. 'Cause
Are
I
you?
have like the hour-long
to
drive in the
and
morning,
back?
and then the one in the in the evening or the afternoon. That one kills too. So now I'm just going to crawl into my minivan and flop over on my air mattress and fall asleep. More likely I'll be hanging out with the guys, which is kind of nice, because I kind of miss hanging out with the 3-gun group.
Yeah.
I've only really had one match with them this year, and the year is like almost over. So it'll be good
Yeah.
to hang out with the guys.
Are you having any more 3-gun matches after this, or any other matches?
There's going to be more. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any of them, because I think Well, the next one conflicts with Maple Seed. The ones after that might not, though, because they have a November and a December one.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll shoot those in the snow.
Yeah. But you have
Yeah.
your bunny suits and
Yeah. I
yeah.
have my walking sleeping bag wearable
Yeah.
thing there. Yeah, it's very
I
warm.
need to get one of those.
It's
In
so
gray.
comfortable.
Does it come in gray?
I don't know, it must. But when I shot my match last year in it, like it was so warm. It was so nice. I just left it unzipped most of the time, and I was just like, it's so comfortable. And I think that's it. Yeah. So I checked my calendar too. I've been on the range every weekend, at least every weekend, since mid-July.
Yeah, it's
And
been a long stretch.
It'll be every weekend until
November?
October, middle of October. No, October 10th will be my first weekend not on the range.
That's Thanksgiving. You're allowed to take a vacation, go and have some turkey with your family.
Yeah, I'll probably do something like that. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for me. Kelly, what about you?
Right. So this week I did a lot, but I didn't do a lot. But I did a lot. So Gunny Girl calendar, we're working hard on it. On the weekend, I met with the ladies that are helping plan the calendar, and we made some decisions. It took us about a bottle and a half of wine and 4 hours to go through all the calendar photos, and we made some decisions. And it's gonna be a fantastic calendar this year, just to let you know. And what else? Oh, on Sunday. So I was telling you that I'd set up another shoot on Sunday with the friend that I've been shooting with. So yeah, I wasn't all that smart because I'm back to doing some personal training. So I went and ran hills in the morning, like hill sprints at 8 a.m. And then at 9:30, I'm meeting her at the range, right? And yeah, I still haven't eaten and I'm exhausted from running for about an hour and a half. Anyways, but it was still a lot of fun. We shot for 3 hours. So her shooting went from, because she's the lady that did not really have that much with fundamentals, and I worked with her for 3 hours the 2 weeks previous. Anyways, so her shooting was fantastic. Like you could really see her putting together the fundamentals and shooting. But what happened was there was one other fundamental that was missing. So we shot, we warmed up, shot 10 rounds, just freestyle, just to actually get used to, warm up, whatever. And then we started off with double tap a gun and with mag changes, and like she was doing fantastic. But we went over and we went to patch it, and I looked at it. She went from actually a basketball size pattern, like she filled the whole entire IPSC target, right? And then also some else, outside the IPSC target. But now she's actually at about 5 centimeters, that big, right? That's actually a really huge improvement, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, but where she was hitting is she was hitting at the bottom of the alpha target or at the top of the Charlie. And I'm going, why is she hitting there? And I'm going, and it's pretty consistent. She did it with the 10 and 10 rounds, the first 10 rounds. She did it with the 20 with the mag changes. And I said, can I see, now that she's not shooting like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's shooting like this, it's easier to diagnose, any problems or whatever. So I said, well, can I see your gun? So she gave it to me, and it's a Shadow as well. So I'm familiar with it, and I just put 5 rounds into it, and I shot my target, and they were all exactly, 5 rounds in the same hole, and right where I was aiming. And I said, it's not your gun, it's you. I said, what are you looking at for your sight alignment in your sight picture? And she goes, what do you mean? So I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? I said, a sight alignment. Have you ever been taught how to do sight alignment? What are you looking for when you actually line up your sights? Excuse me. She goes, I was just told to line up my sights. I don't know what I'm supposed to look for. What she was doing is she was taking like her front optic as a high visibility optic, right? So it's a front sight, fiber,
yep.
sorry. Fiber optic. Anyways, so she was burying it in the her back sight. So that would impact her shooting lower. So she thought she actually had to touch the bottom of it. And I'm going, no, it's, so I explained to her and I showed her and I said, no, it's equal height, equal light. That's what you want to make sure you have. And then when she goes like, nobody's ever told me this. Why isn't it? I'm going, I don't know. It's so when you actually go shooting, this is one of the fundamentals. So she practiced it. Again, it was like she started with dry fire, and she started to try and line up her sights when she pulled her pistol out of her holster, and then she started with 5 rounds and then 10 rounds, and then she was just shooting fantastic. So after that, what we did was we put in some more things. We canned, strong hand. We did more movement drills. Moving forward from 25 up is something that she got better at, because she was putting in the movement and shooting at the same time, but she still wasn't shooting. She still was having a few mics. So we started from the really close, moved backwards, and she was able to put all 5 on target at that point, and then walk back and put another 5 on. So we talked about why that was, and then we actually incorporated movement, both forward and backwards, but also lateral as well. And we had such a great time. It was over 3 hours, and it was close to 250 rounds a piece that we actually shot. So we did a lot of shooting. It was pretty good. So we had a great time. And so the boyfriend, the guy that taught her all of this, he was there. He was waiting. He was actually RSOing some people at the range. He was, we were doing, at our range, you have to do probationary shoots. So he was signing off on people to do that. So he came over and he was watching us shoot, and then he was shooting as well. He did the one where we were doing movement with the lateral movement, and so I told him that I was going to hit him upside the head because of and he goes, no, I said, I asked him about flinching, and he said, well, she wouldn't stop flinching, so I just said, forget it, just aim higher. I'm going, that's not how you solve a problem. And anyways, so we had a little bit of talk about that, but the fantastic thing is that the girl that I was shooting with, she's having such a good time with shooting now. And she actually went and shot with some of the guys from the other that shoot in the morning, and she was telling them, no, I don't really need to do that. It's not comfortable for me. And they were actually quite impressed with her, the improvement in her shooting just in the 2 weeks. And they're going, holy cow. She goes, yeah, I know. Yeah.
It reminds me of what I was taught in my black badge. Where you going, you silly cat? Cat's caught my microphone. During the weekend portion of the drills,
yep,
we were taught, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
To hold our front sight in the Charlie.
Okay. And
the recoil would push us into the alpha.
Yep.
And we would shoot the alpha.
Yeah. So, no. I actually...
All the no.
Yeah.
In other words, what he's saying is, I can't teach you how to hold the gun correctly with your weak hand, so that you can hold the sights in the middle and break the shot.
Exactly.
Without disrupting it. So what I'm going to do is, I know you're going to push the muzzle so bad during the trigger press because you don't know how to hold the gun right, and I don't know how to teach you to hold the gun right. But I've learned that if I get students to hold in the Charlie, they'll push the muzzle into the alpha, and that's where the hits will go. But if I tell them to hold in the alpha, they'll probably hit deltas on the right side if they're right-handed shooters, or push it right off the target altogether.
Yeah, and that's
I wonder if that's a time
too.
I wonder if that's a time thing. I wonder if there's just like not enough time to teach the people properly how to do it, and they're
because remember, black badge isn't really about teaching. It's about them. It's a certification course, not a training course. So you're supposed to come with a certain amount of skill set. Now, that being said, the manual talks about the fundamentals and shows the fundamentals. So,
but you have to have the fundamentals.
Well, you do have to have them, but at least the manual says what they are. Yeah. And they can be covered somewhat. Like, there's not a black badge class I've ever taught where I've not showing someone how to hold the
Well,
pistol, use
But
the
that's
sight.
exactly it, right? You're showing
So-
somebody how to do it and how to
Yeah.
do it correctly.
But anyway, that guy who just, well, she was flinching, so I gave up. It's kind of the same idea as what I went through in my black badge. Yeah, just hold way off to the left, and you'll flinch into the middle. That's what he taught us.
Anyways, I also showed her a trick with strong hand and weak hand, and she did fantastic with it. Like, it was a really, really good day. She was super excited. She says, I learned more in this 3 hours than I have in close to a year of shooting.
I think some of that is like structured, because when you see like, oh, you're not printing in the right spot, sight alignment, what's going on? You diagnose it, you figure out what's going on. Well, I mean,
I don't say aim higher.
No, and we'll see. This is where in the classes that you've attended with Matthew and I, Adriel, where we do the exemplar drill.
Yep.
You line up the gun. You aim the gun. I press the trigger. So I know that the trigger press is fairly decent because I'm doing it. And if you're not grouping, well, then there's something wrong with your sight alignment.
Mhm.
We've eliminated one of the variables, one of the two fundamentals. You aim, I'll press the trigger.
Yep, that does it.
Well,
Yeah.
like, I was able to see within literally 2 minutes of getting on the range that was what it was, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we diagnosed it, we fixed it, and she was doing fantastic. So it was really good. I actually really enjoy shooting with her, and we're going to go again. We have a black badge. So black badge for Ontario is actually the courses themselves were suspended because of COVID. There's another one that's going to be running on October 3rd and 4th, and I think it's at Grenville. Anyways, I was told about it. I was told I should go do it, but I have events in Ottawa on the 3rd and 4th, so I'm not able to go. Anyways, but my friend actually, she wanted to we were supposed to take the black badge
I'm
course
down
at the
here.
same time.
Justin does one every weekend, it seems like.
Okay. But I'm just saying. Anyways, it was so she said, well, it's in October, and she goes, I'm not ready for October. She goes, I need to get more shooting time in, and I need to get faster, more accurate, so I'm going to wait till the spring. And that was almost like, you know what? She is such a smart lady, and she knows where she's at, and we're going to go to the range more, and we're going to have fun. And so I'm really super proud of her. She did fantastic. I told her that too.
They used to have the prerequisite listed on the IPSC. I believe it was the IPSC Ontario website.
Yep.
And I mean, I think the prerequisite should be the same for across Canada because we're all teaching the same curriculum. It's typically 20 yards, something like
6-second El Presidente.
Yeah, no.
All alphas.
It's like 8 out of 10 shots on a regular sheet of paper, like 8.5 by 11 or whatever, no time limit.
Yeah, it is. And then there is some stuff with time limits too, but whatever.
Not for prerequisite, no. And the time limits.
Twirling limits.
Probably
form.
Shut up. The time limits are probably going to go away altogether.
Okay.
And when the new black badge does roll out, there'll be more of an emphasis on actually
safety
teaching. Not safety, on teaching, because when the sport started and the course came out, again, it was to certify that you could do these things, right? Mm-hmm. Law enforcement, military were who it was first marketed at when it first came out back in the 70s. Right. And the idea was to give people who carried a gun an opportunity to practice with that gun within the context of sport, right?
Right.
So we weren't about teaching people how to use their guns. We were just certifying that they knew how to use them before they could come and compete. Now we have people in today's age of firearms culture in Canada who often get a restricted firearms course just so they can IPSC.
Okay.
They're not already gunnies that have learned to shoot along the way and want to play IPSC. Some people just get a gun so they can play IPSC. So we're doing a disservice to them by not teaching them in the course. So
okay.
It's changing.
I have input on that though. There's not a lot of it's my segment. There's not a lot of training out there. There is, you can go and you can get somebody tell you, like Kelly or whoever, right? But there's not a lot of certification. There's not a lot of fundamentals training out there. There's not a lot of courses. So like people are getting guns, and then they're going to go, well, I'm going to become black. I'm going to take black badge because that's what they think it is. They think it's also a fundamentalist course. It's going to teach them how to shoot it. So that's what it is, right? Canada doesn't have a lot of training programs at all.
Especially standardized ones.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
for pistol, there's no standardized pistol course other than black badge across the country.
Yep.
Yeah,
No-
and the
nothing even
CCFR
close.
was supposed to develop one after the range safety officer program, but
Oh,
know,
that would be a
busy
decent idea, but someone's
busy
got to build it.
fighting- busy fighting the government. It's already built. Same
My
guy
head
that we
hurts.
got our RSO course from. We were going to get our firearm. We were going to certify firearms instructors to go teach people how to shoot.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Just
Yeah.
take somebody to, put
Yep.
it together and make it happen like we did with the RSO. But there's only so many people in the CCFR that are working, and they're all kind of busy trying to
Yeah.
keep our
Save our
guns.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Anyways, so
someday.
yeah, it'll eventually get there. So the other thing that I did is on Tuesday night, I went and I
just had
did
a
it.
great idea. You know how you guys developed Maple Seed?
Yes.
You need the same idea, but with
Oh.
handguns.
You mean like the one that's down in the U.S. that Appleseed did?
Couldn't tell you. So there you go.
Appleseed does a handgun course.
They developed one. Yep.
Oh, that's
go
so
steal it.
super interesting.
And
Yes.
just yeah. Anyways, yeah, because I got so much time for that too.
Whatever,
Something
man.
else.
Work it out.
Anyways, no, they
Everything that we bring up here explodes. Maple Seed exploded. ORPS is exploding. because
Kelly's head exploded.
you-
Go
you
ahead.
you just made the point. We don't have an abundance
don't.
of training opportunities. And every time we have some kind of course where you can do a little bit of competition after you've learned a lot of skills, it explodes. Maple Seeds, like what in Canada, firearms related, has blown up the way Maple Seed has blown up. We've never seen anything like it from coast to coast.
From a training?
It sells out.
No. CRPS from a competition right now.
Yeah, that's blowing up too. Every time we get something that's put on by decent people who know what they're doing and are dedicated and willing to travel, it explodes. We're getting more and more ORPS.
It's also called crazy people.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a little crazy.
Well,
That's why things happen. Doers and shakers make things happen. Talkers talk. You guys do, and look at what has come from it. So if we can get something like that going for pistol, we'll have smaller groups because again, it's restricted. You need a special license and stuff. But man, if we had a program where people come out and we spent all the same amount of quality, we spent the same amount of time with the quality instruction that Maple Seed delivers, but geared towards handgun fundamentals.
So
And then those people would decide, now
Okay.
I want to get into competition. Or
yeah,
not.
that'd be
Yeah.
great. And if people actually are interested in doing that, contact us and we'll put you in touch with the right people. Like seriously, like I know that Adriel and I and Trevor's shaking his head.
Yeah, look, what are you going to tell them? Who are you going to put them in contact with?
We're gonna put them
I'm
in contact.
talking about
Just
a
hold-
pipe dream for a
Call-
program that doesn't exist
call
yet. You're
me.
like, yeah, call me. Call me. Shit, we'll
Call
do it.
me. We'll do it. Oh, shit, I just
We'll get the dates.
I just
we'll get the dates set up.
volunteered for something else, didn't
Trevor's
I?
on it. Trevor's going to be one of our instructors. He's already.
Yeah.
I saw him nod.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I am. Not a chance.
All right. So Trevor brought something up, right? So he brought something up where you can be trained or, the fundamentals, people who are good and they know what they're doing. I do not train people on pistol, but I can diagnose.
For good
And
reason. You're
and-
awful.
Good thing you're in your brother, you asshole.
The look on your face. But it's true though. You suck.
I do not.
No, you don't. It's
Anyways,
funny.
but
Oh,
The
shit.
stuff that I teach in Maple Seed, I just brought her on over to
Well, of course.
because it's
Fundamental-
transferable. It's
Of course,
fundamental.
trigger. Yes, absolutely. Natural point of aim, how to stand,
Sight
trigger
alignment,
press.
sight
Yes,
picture.
these are transferable
my
fundamental
God.
skills.
I know. Anyways, so speaking of
So
transferable
you would think
skills,
you'd be better at handgun, but here we are. What? I got like 3 more left in me, and then I'll be good. I promise.
All right. So Tuesday night I went and I wrote the Ontario portion in the final exam for the Hunter Education Program. So I am officially, I'm legit, man. I'm going to go hunting. I am super excited. I am going to go buy my tags. I get to buy, I'm going to do waterfowl. So I'm going to go to the post office and then I got to go get the other tags. Got to buy my Ontario Outdoors card. Then I got to actually figure out clothes because they don't have a lot of those. And then I have a gun that I can actually use. It's downstairs, so I'm going to use that. And then I got my shotguns. And so I am pretty much, besides the tags and besides the clothes.
What are you going to start with? You going to jump right into big game, or are you going to do upland?
No, you
What's your plan?
got to do waterfowl to start with.
No,
Waterfowl
yeah.
or upland.
So
Because
Why
there's
waterfowl?
there's lots of opportunity to see them or not, and you just leave. Like big game, you go out like day after day and see nothing, and it's it can be a little bit disheartening. And then you shoot a deer and you got to do something about it.
Yeah.
Waterfowl, man. Oh,
So
seems to me like it's pretty. Man.
Uh,
Yeah. What do you want to do, Cal?
so we're gonna do partridge. We're gonna do
And
a
grouse. We don't have partridge. We've covered this for 370 episodes.
whatever. So
Prairie chicken,
Bush
I'm gonna-
chicken.
bush chicken.
Okay.
You're gonna go
that's-
upland.
You got 2 left.
grouse, small game. Oh no, the 3 I was referring to were about picking on your shooting abilities, not
Okay.
everything else.
You know
That's
what? I'm gonna come
countless.
down there. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Bring it. We'll have a shoot off. Steel challenge. Kelly versus the Ferlate.
Okay.
Boom.
So, and then we're trying to arrange a female's waterfowling.
Pillow fight.
Yes, that will happen as well. But first, we're going to go and hunt ducks.
And then wine and pillows. Got it.
Yes. Oh yeah, a lot. And then we're going to do deer as well. Okay.
Nice.
So
Remember when I said you don't need camo for deer because they're not smart animals? You
Yeah.
need camo for ducks and
Ducks.
geese. Yeah,
Yeah.
they can see stuff. You need some
I
camo
also
for that.
I also want to get stuff that's going to be. I know I need
Nice
camo.
and warm.
Nice and warm.
Do you need
especially-
waders? Waders are
Yeah.
really warm. If you get like neoprene waders, like
Yeah.
you get hot in those.
I'm probably going to go and get those for some muck boots or something. I know some
Yep.
people there. I can get a good discount. So I'm looking for deals. So our
So you're
listeners,
gonna get waders that just do the sock, or are you gonna get waders that have the boots built into them? Because some of them will have the boots built in.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I like the ones with the boots built in because then it's like less stuff for me to bring. And like when you're done duck hunting, you just kind of take all this stuff off and you put some like sandals on. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And the neoprene's warm, so you won't be too cold. In fact,
Yeah.
you'll probably be too hot. And then for camo, you can either get like real camo, or if you're hunting on like a straw field, like I don't know where you're hunting, but if you know the people you're hunting on,
I do.
and they've got some
You know the
straw,
people you're hunting on.
their
No,
land,
the-
the
the
land
land.
they're hunting on.
Okay.
Get some straw, and just like put that over your like natural camouflage, and you don't have to do all that other nonsense.
No, that does. Yeah, allergies. No. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna check out some things right now. Cabela's, by the way, if you're going to go shopping at Cabela's, click on the slamfireradio.com and then click on the Cabela's link and then support us. So I'm gonna go and do that. They're having some sale on right now. So, and then there's a place there literally just 500 meters from my place that has some stuff on sale too. So I might go there.
Mike says
but-
to get the ones with the boots built in. I agree,
Who says that? Mike?
Mike. Yeah,
Okay. Thanks, Mike. I need muck boots too, though.
separately.
Yeah, separately.
Separately, they're nice.
And the reason is because deer hunting, and then when you actually are like, I am going to get a deer this year, so when we're skinning it,
When
and
you're skinning it, and the
everything-
blood gets all of your boots, and
Yeah.
you just hose them off, and it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
so yep, that's me. I actually, yay. And hey, Trevor,
Yeah.
did you ever think that I would ever say that? I'm going to be hunting this year.
Yes, actually,
Did you?
about a year ago, yeah, I could have predicted this for sure.
Eh,
Your evolution has just continued and continued and continued, and this is kind of like the next step. Plus, if you're going to hang out with Kelly Kincaid, you're going to kill stuff,
no way.
right? So,
It's like, oh, that's really bad that I chuckled at that. But yeah, yeah, we went hardcore this year with, prepping and doing other things. And yeah, so if I'm supposed to be over to her place shooting on her range and all of a sudden deer shows up and, it's bow
then you shoot
season
the
and
deer.
you shoot
This
the
is
deer,
how, yeah.
that's how it happens.
Is it going to be like open up the back door, hasty sling?
Yeah.
Natural point of aim.
Yeah.
Out the back door kind of a thing.
Respiratory pause.
Yeah. Respiratory pause.
We have a deer
Coffee.
stand down there, and it's a beautiful deer stand. It's homemade, but it's actually beautiful. It's enough to fit 4 people. We walk down to it. We have our coffee. We sit there. It's nice and peaceful. We come back, and then we have breakfast, and then the deers come to actually the house, and that's how we actually hunt. We hunt from the house. We don't have to go to the deer stand.
It's amazing. Coffee in hand, bow in the other hand. Like, oh my God, it's heaven.
Hold my Baileys.
Right?
Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna do that. So I'm very, very excited about anyways. So and yeah, that's it. I didn't go to Skeet Night on Wednesday because
I wonder why I didn't get my call.
yeah, I didn't go. I haven't been for 2 weeks. Yeah. We didn't. Yesterday was Wednesday. What the heck was I doing? Oh, yeah. Anyways, I'm back on the whole personal training thing. It's gone hardcore. So by the time you see me next year, baby.
There'd be nothing left to you, Kelly. You're already like
No, I'm
92
gonna.
pounds.
I wish. Well, no, I don't wish. If I was 92 pounds, I'd.
You'd be on death's door.
No.
Ooh, you know what's on sale at Cabela's right now that
What?
Maple Seed aficionados should get? The Cabela's shooting mat is $49.99 right now.
Oh crap!
What?
Go and get it.
It
Good
goes
to it.
on sale every once in a while for $49, and that's the time to buy it.
Yeah.
$49.99.
Get 2 because someone's going to show up without one and want to borrow yours. Can we share, man?
They're so huge and comfy. Like they're not
Fucking
compact. You'd never want to
RPS.
bring them anywhere, but they're so comfy.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right. Shall we move into upcoming events then?
Oh,
No, we won't.
I talked about Sandhill
Give her.
Cranes, and Tommy was like, "Hey, if you want to go for Sandhill Cranes, I know a place."
Seriously?
hmm
Aren't Sandhill Cranes the like ribeye of the sky?
That's
the
what I
one?
hear. Ribeye of the sky. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, seriously, how much meat can you get off of one of those things?
It's supposed to be like a decent chunk of meat.
It's a good sized bird, Kelly.
They gotta flap their wings.
Yeah,
right
it's like
there. They got meat.
chicken size or bigger, right? It's a big bird.
I don't know if I can make a weekend though. Like, the aforementioned on the range for every weekend from
Dude,
July
sort it out.
until
Priorities.
October.
So
And I took a week off the other week to go down to do more maple seeds and such.
Yeah.
From the sky.
just go for 4 days, and then the other 3 days do something with your wife. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it'll be paperwork at that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of paperwork.
What's this going to cost me? Alimony. That's
oh,
what this trip will cost you.
yeah,
Child support.
50% time with them. Yeah.
Guy was at my house the other day, and he was complaining about having to sell his RC cars because he had a baby. And I'm like, look around, dude. You see all the shit that I have? You know why I don't have it? Or I said, you know why I have it? Because I don't have kids. Yeah, every time somebody says,
you know what I would have
having
said?
children, I wipe my eyes with $100 bills. I'm so upset.
When you said, "Oh, you know why I have it, all this stuff, is because you're a big kid."
Without
why.
kids, that's right. You
Yeah.
can't be a big kid and have the little kids. It doesn't work. So,
You'd be fighting the little kids for your toys.
yeah, put my shit down. What are you doing? Go talk to your mother. Get her to buy you your own monster truck. This one's mine. It's no joke. That's why I don't want to share my toys. It's one of the reasons why I
right.
chose not to have children. All right, Adriel, good to
That's
go.
it.
Upcoming
Yeah.
events. All right, so upcoming events is sponsored by Telos Alpha. Telos Alpha is a Canadian digital agency that works exclusively in the firearms vertical. They help with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchants, processors, and social media. You can learn more about what they offer and how they can help your business at telosalpha.com. Only 2 items this week. One, of course, being the CCFR Integrity March, which is Saturday, September 12th on
Yay!
Parliament Hill. You can get details from the website. Also, I recommend going back and listening to the last couple episodes of the CCFR radio podcast. If you're
Yep.
not subscribed to that podcast, you are in fact a communist. Go listen to Rod and Tracy's on there a lot, and
Yeah.
it's a great way to get caught up on a lot of things CCFR, but lately especially the Integrity March.
They've also
Kelly?
got a blog. They got a blog post on it that has
Yeah.
like a lot of the like do's and don'ts.
Yeah,
good,
this
yeah.
Oh
is
yes,
survival
that's
guide.
thank you, the survival guide. Listen, I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm gonna say anyway. Don't show up with a firearm
No.
of any
You
kind.
will
Show
you
up
will
with a
be
sign that
arrested.
says ACAB or
No.
no.
No, we have
Don't
we
do that?
listen.
I don't even know
No,
what that means.
we will have signage. We will have hand sanitizers, masks. We will have everything that you need. Just show up and dress appropriately, please. And by the way,
Don't show
yes.
up. It's not cosplay. You don't have to dress up like a doctor, like the doctors did with their clipboards and their white coats when they had their little
Show people
protests.
what it ended up drawing.
Why not?
If you want. Why
What
not?
if I can I
Oh,
dre-
that's
can I dress
hilarious.
up as a doctor? I think
Do
I can.
dress up as a doctor.
What's the barrier to entry? Scrubs and a stethoscope, like an old timey one.
You know
That's
what?
the barrier
Screw it.
to entry.
I'm putting on my furry outfit. I'm gonna go in my raccoon gear. Remember the New Brunswick
You're-
Furry Club?
Not like the tail's not gonna be attached, right? It's like it's part of the costume.
Correct, and
good.
it's in the
Yeah.
front. All right. A few people have dropped out of the Chaz 3-gun match this weekend. So if you'd like to get into that, Adriel, how do they grab those empty
Practice
spots?
score.
Practice score.
How many
That's where the
how
world
many
lives.
spots?
Yeah, I think there's
Is it
like
a
3
few?
spots. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple there. Which there's a
crap.
lot of really good prizes and like some really decent stuff.
I'm going to a match this weekend without even having a slot. I'm going to be that guy that shows up and go, anybody no show, Mr. Match Director? Please?
You
No? You're full?
Mhm.
Okay. Where's my timer? I'm going to go with 2 shirts. My Team Phoenix shirt and
your
my,
IPSC New Brunswick shirt.
no, my RO shirt. Oh, shoot. That reminds me. I packed the wrong shirt. I've got my Phoenix
means
Redback shirt.
you're ready
packed,
to
and
help.
I'm actually going to
You're
be running my...
Such a
Yeah.
helpful guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drive all the way there and turn around and go back. Either I shoot or I help them with our rowing. And
Yeah.
then I can't leave town till... Oh, no. Never mind. I almost spoke too soon. I can't leave town till 5 o'clock. So I was going to say I'll stay and help tear down. But no. I'm going to go get my nerd on at the old military airport base and watch some guys fly radio control airplanes.
Huh.
It's another hobby I
I like
used to have.
how your hobbies are just like it's like in the morning I shoot guns and in the afternoon fly toy airplanes.
Right. Several weekends now, I've had a race on Saturday and a match on Sunday. So I travel to wherever I'm going with both sets of hobby equipment, including next weekend. I'll be going down to Filthy's Friday night. I'll race on Saturday, go back to Filthy's Saturday night, get drunk, wake up Sunday, and go shoot Justin's match at Tracy. So it's bada boom, bada bing, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like I think one of the things with COVID is like some of the dates have like moved around out here. So there's a lot of conflict in between different matches and that kind of thing that shouldn't be there because it was planned out at the start of the year, but now things got collided and moved around, and it's kind of a mess on some of our matches out here as well.
No, it's working out really well for me. I've always got to remember to keep my equipment straight. Like if I walk up to the driver's stand with a pistol in my holster, I'm pretty sure the other nerds are going to get severely freaked out. And if I go to an IPSC match and next thing you know, I walk onto the stage with an RC car in my hand, it will probably get shot. They'd be like, all right, moving target, let's go. So anyway. All right. News, Remington. What's going on with Remington, Adriel?
They sold their ammo business to Palmetto State Armory. So they had barns and a couple of other things. And they sold it because Remington's not a great company and they're, just not good at managing stuff.
Remington is the hobo of manufacturers. They're the
No,
poors.
they're like
They have
cats.
22. They have like 22 ammo. They have shotgun ammo.
Yeah.
Like they have ammo.
Yeah.
And it's not the worst ammo. not great, but it's not the worst. And yeah, so now they're gonna sell that. So that's Barnes Bullet Brands production facilities
What
in
about
Arkansas,
that
Utah.
bucket of 22 bullets? How would you describe that in the Remington?
The bucket of bullets reckon.
Reliable enough, not accurate, like not
No.
fantastically accurate, but reliable. Even
Okay,
Thunderbolt, dirty,
Yep.
but reliable.
Yep.
Okay.
Both what
Yeah.
he said. Like we actually.
Dirty and
so-
reliable. You just described my prom date.
Okay. But did you have a good time?
Remington, it's cheap, but it'll
Yeah.
show you a good time.
Right? It's so funny too because we have a listener right now who is at my prom, and she knows who my prom date was.
We'll
And none of
contact
what
you
I'm-
afterwards and we'll talk about it.
All
right.
Jeez.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually what we use for the kid shoots. That's what we've provided with is
Bucket of
Remington
bullets.
bucket of bullets. And
Yeah.
the kids, it's good enough for kids, right? They have great time with it. Yeah, you're gonna have
Your figures will
maybe-
look gold at the end of the day. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just wash your hands before you eat your sandwich, things like that.
Bronze,
and then
whatever.
we're
Yeah.
good.
Neat.
Cool. All right. New gun stuff? Nothing else for news, Adriel?
I haven't really been paying attention.
Oh,
And-
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Busy. Yeah.
There
Okay.
has been no donations, FYI. The
Okay.
updates didn't happen, so they're.
I think I saw a manufacturer selling a gun that they were going to donate the proceeds for, but that isn't done yet. So
Yeah. Who
coming
is
soon.
that?
I'd have to look at my Facebook. I don't know.
Oh, did you guys buy? Did you guys buy any of those tickets for the CCF or not CCFR, SFRC?
No.
Nope.
Okay. You can either get the Humvee or $25,000 cash, one or the other. So go and buy them, and then I think part of the proceeds. I'm not sure. I have to actually. No, I was going to say I think part of the proceeds goes to the CCFR, but I don't think so. I think that. Yeah. Anyways.
With prizes like that, I don't even care where the money goes.
I'm
Cash or a
going-
Humvee?
Cash
good.
or an actual.
You could spend it all on Coke and whores. Like, it's none of my business. I could win
U.S.
a Humvee.
Humvee.
Oh,
Yeah.
no way.
It's anyways.
Fantastic.
I bought
All
a
right,
couple
cool.
of tickets.
Congratulations.
I'll
I hope
drive
you
over
win.
people.
Of
Sorry.
course you will, because it's a Humvee. That's what you do.
Of
Mhm.
course.
So, all right. So, new gun stuff is brought to us by our sponsor, Bolt Action Coffee. So, Slamfire Radio is now a proud ambassador of Bolt Action Coffee. The coffee is roasted in small batches and is quite honestly some of the best coffee you can get your hands on. Send it to your house by going to www.boltactioncoffee.com. And if you grind your own beans and you use a French press, yep, give her a go, because
It's delicious.
It is delicious, and it's almost gone. Like, I just do the weekends. It's not I drink the sludge during the week like
Yeah.
the rest of the plebs, but on the weekend I need to break out the French press and do it upright.
Yeah.
It's almost gone. There was one day where I made three times I filled the French press.
Okay. So
That's a
I'm gonna
lot of
ask.
caffeine.
I'm
I
gonna
could
ask.
hear color. I could, and the number 7 smelled like purple.
Delicious.
Like, it was just amazing.
Okay. So how many tablespoons do you put in your French press?
I guess you could call it a tablespoon. I go 5. I did the weight by volume thing for a while,
Yep,
Kelly,
yep.
and it was, for my taste, way too strong. So I
I
figured
put
out
5 in as well.
Yeah, I went.
For a
What I
full
did
one.
after I did the so many parts water, so many parts coffee. I did it again, and then just didn't do the water, and figured like you weigh it and stuff, and I
Mhm.
figured out how many cups it was, or tablespoons, sorry, and I dialed it back until I found what I liked, and for me, 5.
It's really good,
It's really good, yeah.
Yeah. It makes my
So-
life better. It makes everybody else's life better too.
It
Because
makes everyone else safer, is
Yeah.
what it does.
Yeah.
The more coffee I have, the better your chances are.
surviving. Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Okay, and so the new gun stuff that we're going to talk about this week, S&J is making a pretty compact precision rifle based on a Savage Action.
Look at this. Look at this thing. Look how
Oh my
small it
God.
is.
Let me see.
Little.
S&J is just
13.
is assembling that.
I mean, it's a Savage Action on an MDT chassis, Magpul, and a teeny tiny little barrel.
Simon, how the hell did you come up with that?
Why?
Look at this. Look at this compared to this like tiny little shotgun, and it's about as big. Tiny.
Tiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
It begs the question: why do you want a short, compact bolt-action rifle?
I don't know. Maybe you're shooting PRS at like short distance. If you
50
got
yards.
I think this would do more than 50.
I think so too. I'm being a little facetious,
Yeah.
but I wonder what it would
Not
be
long
like to
range.
load for a barrel that stiff.
Look at that Picatinny rail.
Neat.
Mm.
It's neat. I thought I'd include it because it's neat.
It is neat.
Here's another neat one. Delask is going to make some 9-inch carbon fiber takedown barrels. Make them, get them in. I don't know. Baby little barrels. So small.
I get behind this because, overall you're still over 26 inches, so it's going to maintain its non-restricted status. But a super compact, lightweight backpack, hunting bunnies, grouse,
There's a takedown barrel too.
Takedown. That's why I said backpack.
Yep.
Like it's just.
It's got the little rail that goes on the barrel, so you don't lose your zero because it stays on the barrel.
On the barrel. Yep. Comes off with the barrel. I like it. I like it a lot. This is a nice package.
Very tiny.
I like the Lusk.
And I mean, and it's not a center fire. I'm not worried about whip and nodes and harmonics and stuff. It's a rimfire, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Cool. What else we got? Ooh, a Gen 3. Tell us about this.
Yeah, T97 Gen 3s are in stock at many retailers, which normally I don't know if I would care.
Back it up.
You were talking about these
just
already.
Just in case there's someone who doesn't know what is the T97.
Norinco T97 is a bullpup centerfire 223 rifle made in China.
It kind of is based loosely on the current military assault rifle that the Chinese use.
Yeah, the QBZ 95.
Yeah, that's the name of it. So
it's an export version, semi-automatic only in 223, whereas the Chinese use some weird homegrown cartridge.
I had a Gen 1 and I didn't hate it.
I had a Gen 1. I think that the safety is in a real stupid spot. That's the same right now.
It absolutely is. It's on the weak side at the back by the stock behind the magazine, and it's a complete 180 throw. You got to go all the way from the left all the way to the right instead of just a drop 90 degree like on an air.
Yeah.
But what do you want from the country that brought us coronavirus? I mean, you want them to get things right. I'm sorry, but
you will adapt yourself. You will adapt yourself to the rifle.
Eat more chicken and less bat soup. Yes. My students and I had my students back in class today, and we were having a conversation about COVID and wanted to make sure that they had facts and not, misinformation and memes off of Facebook. I wanted to know where they were getting their information from and if they were looking at the actual numbers and the percentages and all that stuff. And I asked them if they remembered. Well, first of all, I said, what is the WHO? What do they do? Who do they work with? And that led into a conversation with the United Nations. And anyway,
and you get to George Soros and the Pizzagate, and you get down into the child pedophilia rings and the 9/11 conspiracy, and then you get to the cloud seeding and the airplanes dropping the silver ions on everyone.
Taking this too far. And this is why my stories take so long. Anyway. I asked them if they remembered what the WHO had said about coronavirus right before the pandemic was full-blown hit and the schools were shut down. And one of them actually remembered. I actually printed a leaflet from the WHO, and it offered 2 pieces of advice to avoid coronavirus. 1, don't eat bat soup. And 2, if you're going to have sex with animals, wear protection. That was actually a thing the WHO said back in March. If you
sounds like good advice.
Yeah, now it's stay home and wear a mask.
A little bit too late.
We went from don't have sex with animals to wear a mask, and that's how you avoid the corona.
And wear a mask while you're having sex.
Apparently, that's the thing too. If you're going to bang strangers, don't talk to them moistly, and if you are, wear
a glory hole. I think is what they mentioned.
Oh,
yeah.
That was the BC Ministry of Health's recommendation.
But there is kind of an analogy there between wearing a mask and and having a condom, right? Like if you wear a condom without having sex to avoid an STD, it's like wearing a mask in public when no one has the virus. That's kind of like, I'm going to put this condom on when I leave the house today, just in case.
But it also protects you from other things too.
Yeah, but if you're not fucking anybody, you're not going to catch anything. If you're wearing a mask and nobody in your community has the virus, what's the point? Do you see it now?
Correct.
Do you get it now?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Whereas here in Alberta, there's plenty of it, and
Plenty. You guys never got it under control. I wouldn't want to be BC, Alberta, Ontario, or Quebec. I mean, I don't want to be Quebec for a whole pile of reasons. There's one thing about this pandemic.
We're going to get hate mail again. Stop it.
If you're a Quebecer and you're offended by my views about your country's politics, you can send your hate mail to slamfireradio@gmail.com. As I was saying, this lockdown thing, this is the closest we've come to separation, and frankly, I was pretty happy about it. What do I know? Main topic: how Trevor pisses off a whole new segment of listeners this week, and go.
I think we got that covered. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really have a main topic this week because when I'm on, I talk too much and I burned up too much time on the clock. So let's jump right into our email. What say you, my fellow co-hosts?
Julio.
Concur.
All right. So listener feedback is brought to us by Armory DC Gunsmith. Oh, I might be back to work there soon. I'm looking at my schedule. I know. After the conversation we had today, can you believe I said that? But I did talk to him on the phone the other day, which was before today's meltdown. And once I get a handle on this next course, if things are okay, because he's busy, right? It's hunting season. Everybody needs their stuff cleaned and fixed. And so if I can go in maybe one day a week, I'm going to. Anyway, so it's listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. Follow him on the Facebooks and the Instagrams at Armory DC Gunsmith. Do we have any Facebook questions, concerns that we need to address before we get into the actual emails?
There was actually one. I think that somebody answered it though.
Okay.
It was from Brandon. Any thoughts on the NDS 18SC?
That's the Nodak Spud lower. Range Warrior Accessories was building rifles based on that. That's like a Primo 180 lower. So if you wanted the best 180, that's what I would use. I would go to RWA. I would say make me, because they RWA makes the uppers as well, with IBI barrels. So you'd be getting like a really good high quality lower from a known manufacturer in the US. You'd be getting an IBI barrel, and you'd be getting whatever else they do. Like they started with the rail setup that was on the WS MCR to start with. Like they had that to start with. They knew what that rifle needed. So if you wanted to spend a little bit more, well, a lot more, but get like the best 180 alternative, go to RWA.
All righty.
Perfect. All right.
Everybody else is just talking about how you can actually get, the hunting license for waterfowl online. I know that. I was just making a point that you go into the post office.
Kevin was mentioning there that he prefers the waders where you use the boots, so you can change your boots based on the terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another option.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
That's it.
I'm going to get somebody to piggyback me. I don't care, but
if you get someone with dogs, then you don't need to wade. The dogs jump in the lake to get the duck or the whatever you're shooting.
Actually, one of the people that we're hoping, or I'm hoping that will take us waterfowling, he has dogs that have won national championships for waterfowling.
You don't need waders like some sort of pleb.
This dog is just like, okay, so seriously, he has a duck blind at his place, and so the dogs have their own doors, and the dogs' names are written on the doors, and the dog, he actually, like, we went out to the duck blind, and he's sitting at his door, and he wants to go. Anyways, he knows which door is his. It's awesome.
It's basically like a remote control. Like you could get up and like walk over to the TV and like change a channel, or The dog will
Or
go
the
get
dog.
the dog.
The
Yeah,
dog is also trained to retrieve beers from the fridge. But
Yeah, that doesn't take
he
much.
but he is trained to retrieve beers from the neighbor's fridge.
Oh, well, that's even better.
That
As long
is
as the neighbor's
man's best
stocked up.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
neighbors really good friends. Anyways, amazing dog. So maybe we'll do that instead of actually get wet because I'm all for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Ready for the email from Josh.
Yes.
Regarding the email last week, about 12 or 20 gauge, I would mostly be hunting. We're talking about waterfowl again. Somebody shoot me. But would also get a slug barrel for deer. Since last week's podcast, I have been to a few gun stores: SFRC, Norris's, and Harrow Smith, Bronson and Bronson in Kingston, and Greater Napanee Gunworks GNG in Nepean. It is very interesting.
It's Napanee,
Napanee.
not
Napanee, thank you. It is Nepean. Jesus Christ.
That's Ottawa.
Oh, thank you. It is very interesting to get everyone's personal opinion on which firearm to buy. It is very much like a modern day Ford or Chevy comparison in the
Right.
truck world. It really is. It really, really is.
So I was going to say, if you're going to go and talk to anybody at SFRC, go to talk to Scott. Don't go. Napanee Gunworks is great, but don't go to them. Go to Wings, and Wings is in Lyndhurst.
Well, there's a sponsor we're not getting.
There you go. Napanee Gunworks.
Don't
is
even
actually,
go there.
They're great.
You'll get coronavirus. That's
but
what
I'm
happens.
gonna tell you to go to Wings in Lyndhurst because go talk to John. He will give you the straight deal. But if you're going to go to SFRC, go to Scott. Anyways, okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ford versus Chevy. Everyone has a personal preference, and usually they don't have a good reason why they choose a particular brand. Then you avoid those people. If you cannot articulate and justify your reasons why you want A over B, I can't take you. I can't listen to you. I can't. If anyone says to me, it just feels better in the hand, I'm like, check, please. What I have realized is most of the modern day firearms, as long as you were shopping in the same category and price point, are all very comparable in quality
they're
and
pretty much the
workmanship.
same.
Yeah, pretty much all the modern stuff at a certain price point sucks the same. You're right. It's really what you like the look and feel of.
Somewhat.
So
There's a couple of
Yeah.
bad ones out there that you'd want to avoid.
Yeah, like you get a Savage Axis over a Remington 783. They're in the same price point. They're in competition with each other, but you can't compare the two.
And I wouldn't get a Mossberg 930. I would get something else.
Yeah, I would go Stoeger before I would go with that gun, based on
Yep.
everything I've heard.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I'll keep you updated with which I choose when the time comes. Love the show. See you on the 12th in Ottawa. Oh, and did Adriel have hair when the podcast started? Just wondering, since you've been on the air so long. That's kind of funny. That reminds me of the time Steve Koski saw a picture of me without a hat on and said, "Trevor's bald? He doesn't sound bald."
And now, Adriel was bald when he started, and so was I.
Yeah, there you go. Kelly wears a wig. You're welcome. No, stop it. Just stop it, Trevor. Stop right now. Okay, good. Anything else to discuss on email 1 before we jump into Josh's second email?
No.
Hi, guys. This topic was very surprising for me to hear. I'm not sure what to think. A buddy of mine recently completed his restricted firearms license. He got 100%. Way to go, Nick Van. Anyway, his instructor advised him that as long as the township that he resides in does not have a I'll say that again. As long as the township that he resides in does not have a specific bylaw, then he is able to discharge restricted firearms as long as he owns the property it is being discharged on. So in other words, if you own land, you can shoot handguns on it, as long as the township doesn't have a no discharge bylaw. I did a little digging and found a paper written by a Canadian lawyer, which to back this up, the link is below. So we are all familiar with the lawyer. And if I wasn't afraid to be sued, I would say nasty things about him because I don't hold him in very high regard and don't have very good opinions of him. We're all familiar with the paper as well. And
Yeah.
you cannot discharge a restricted firearm on any piece of property that is not an approved gun range.
That
Okay.
is correct. And that's why it's called
Approved by-
restricted.
Yeah,
It is-
CFO.
Yes, it's restricted to a gun range, meaning you can only use it at a gun range. So the instructor who told him this, well,
Is
he needs to be
reported.
corrected, re-educated.
Yeah. If he's
Now,
telling people-
O'Toole
can't be telling
is
students this.
a part of his platform is he wants people to be able to do this.
That's fine and dandy,
But
but
that's
not,
not
where
the
we're at now.
law today.
No.
But the fact that he's
So
campaigning
don't muddy
on
the
that
waters.
shows
Don't
you
muddy
it's
the
not.
waters with O'Toole. Like this instructor currently needs to talk about what is, not what somebody's campaigning on. This guy goes out and gets caught and gets charged. That's
Guess
not
what?
going to be a defense.
No.
And good luck trying to get the lawyer who wrote the paper to come defend you in court too. Like,
You don't
you
want him,
wrote
by
the-
the way.
yeah, that's right. You wrote the
Sorry.
paper. Come defend me. Don't be sorry. So anyway, yeah, we've been around a long time and we know a lot of things about a lot of people. You're just gonna have to trust us on this one. But at the end of the day, you cannot go shoot those guns. You can't shoot restricteds anywhere that's not an approved range by a CFO.
Now, you can have a range built on your property that is approved by the CFO, and you can
Well, then
actually
it's an
shoot
approved
on
range.
your...
So
Exactly. So,
Then it's real convenient.
yeah.
yes. So if you want to shoot on your property, get your property approved as a range. We've taught classes on a range like that. I was always under the impression that firing restricted firearm anywhere but an approved range is a hard no, and you were under the correct impression. This instructor needs to be re-educated. I am still inclined to think that you cannot fire restricted firearms, but why would this instructor say that to the class? Because he's mistaken. I don't know why he's under this impression. I tell you something else, Josh. The quality and consistency of instructors that deliver the restricted firearm safety course vary from province to province. For example, for a long time in a lot of provinces, you could actually teach the course on behalf of the CFO's office for a living and charge and make money. And yet here in New Brunswick, that was not the case. No one has ever been able to get paid to teach it. They always were volunteers doing it for the CFO's office, which is asinine. But if you don't get out there and do it, then we're not going to have anybody else get restricted
Wait,
licenses.
all your firearms instructors are volunteers out there?
Restricted, the non-restricted course used to be taught by DNR, and now they also have people doing it as well, and they don't get paid. They get like Ben.
Really?
Yeah, Ben that we shoot with at Filthy's
Just
range.
get paid?
He's an instructor for the restricted or the non-restricted. Like if he gets paid, guys, it's like a very small fixed amount. You're
That
not
sounds
going
like
to
some
live
commie
off of it.
bullshit.
It is some commie bullshit. Rod Giltaka used to do this for a living before the CCFR.
Mhm.
But of course, then they had assholes showing up in RVs and Canadian Tire parking lots and just signing paperwork, right? Like it was an abused system. So anyway, the Firearms Act is supposed to be a federal act administered the same way from province to province. And no, that's not how it is at all. So, the arguments both ways. There's
You can't
arguments.
shoot handguns on your property. Done.
No.
All right,
That's
I was
it. You have to go to
all
you have to go to a
and
certified
that's-
range.
And that's the end.
That's it.
Yeah. Delusional. Yes. Okay. Email number 3 from Josh.
He's
A couple
a boy.
A couple episodes ago, you were talking about the price of ammunition and whether it is worth the money or not. I decided to do a little experiment. At 50 yards, I shot a variety of different ammunition from different price points, ranging from 6 cents per shot to 35 cents per shot. We're talking what? We're talking 222
I
here?
think this is 22.
22.
Okay. I removed
gonna-
as many variables as I could. So the weather was consistent, the firearm, the scope was consistent.
Yeah.
There were used a shooting rest. There was less variation than I expected. The tightest grouping was 23.16 millimeter, while the worst grouping was 35.67 millimeter. Surprisingly enough, the lowest price ammo performed very well compared to its higher priced competition. I'm going to give you a little pro tip here. Take that same all those different types of ammunition and put them through somebody else's 22, and they will all perform differently. Again,
Yep.
you may have the most expensive ammo work better in that gun where it didn't work good in your gun. The moral of the story here, Josh, is when you have a 22 rifle, you have to experiment with a large variety of ammunition to find the one that best suits your gun. It could be
And
cheap, it could be expensive, and that is not only a thing that is exclusive to rimfire. I used to have a bolt action 223 rifle, and I tried every 223 that I could get my hands on that was commercially manufactured, and the ammo it loved best was Winchester White Box 45 grain jacket hollow point.
right.
I even loaded
I
for
shoot
this
whatever
thing.
is the cheapest.
Yeah.
Whatever
And
I can
'cause
buy in big
you
boxes for
you
cheap.
don't care. You don't care.
No.
This was a hunting rifle, and I was after MOA or better. So I tested a wide variety of ammunition, and it turned out I got lucky. The one it liked best was the cheapest. So,
Yeah.
yeah, interesting test, Josh. Just simply, but keep in mind it could vary on a different gun.
Right. So he did include a picture. I pulled it up. I didn't put it in the show notes, but
Mhm.
one of the suggestions I have for him is he tested it with 6 different types of ammo. One of my suggestions is to broaden the type of ammo, like the he has 5 boxes of Ely and 1 of Federal. Go to a different manufacturer and test out some of those. So I would actually throw in there some Remington. I'd throw in there some
CCI standard velocity.
CCI,
CCI Blazer.
Yeah, and then I'd also actually try out some Aguila and different things like that too. So
Yeah,
just go
definitely.
in.
In this case, what he did was he learned which Ely works best in his gun.
Correct. But, and as Trevor's absolutely right, each gun is going to love a different ammo. So it just depends on the gun. So some people are lucky, like Adriel's, his is cheap. Mine likes the moderate price stuff. And
well, and the other thing to think about is 23 millimeters. You're not going to be getting, that's not accurate enough to justify the most expensive stuff. So if your rifle can't print half-inch groups anyways, there's no sense, like a lot of the really nice stuff, like you're reducing the spread of it, and you may not need it. You may not be justified. Like if to get Ely 10X, you're probably you need a rifle that's going to be printing half an inch or less at 50 meters.
Yep.
And if your rifle can't do that, you probably don't need 10X. There's some other brand that'll work fine for that.
I've yet to find an expensive ammo shoot significantly better than CCI standard.
You know what the expensive stuff is better at is
liability.
Keep shooting groups with CCI standard. Every once in a while, you'll have one flyer, and the expensive stuff is much better at those flyers. Those flyers won't happen. Maybe it won't group it. Like maybe your CCI standard velocity will group just as good, but if you shot like 10 5-round groups, you would see 1 or 2 flyers at the CCI velocity that you wouldn't with the Ely. Yeah. That's my experience, anyways.
Yeah, that stands to reason because I mean the quality control. Let's face it,
it's much better.
Yeah, much
and
better.
You wouldn't be having the issue that Adriel had on the weekend either.
Yeah, if I was shooting Ely, I probably wouldn't have any rim blows out.
Wow.
True. Yeah.
No, that's reserved for the cheapest of the cheap 22 ammo. You cannot possibly get any cheaper.
And you know what happens because it's a big old smoke ball, and it's like poof, and it's like.
Never mind the jams and.
How easy was it to get the casing out?
I can't remember.
Didn't it eject? Or you have to manually?
They don't eject.
They don't.
You have to hammer them out.
It's like the garage, the garbage can lid comes off like that. That's what it looks like.
Nice.
The rest is left in the barrel.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to send us an email, you can do so by sending it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Patreon supporters, we have a new Patreon this week, Chris B.
No, that's from last week. It just wasn't.
It just wasn't taken
remember
out. Yep, I remember. That was my job, and I didn't take it out. I'm a bad person. You can flog me later.
not bad.
But you can still flog me. Patreon supporters, you're supposed to say don't threaten me with a good time. Come on, play along. Patreon supporters, I got an idea to make it worth your while.
Oh
Stuff-
God, I hate it when
uh,
he has these.
Yeah,
Usually
you
means-
do, because the good
it means
ideas that
work
I
for me.
well, the good ideas that I suggest to you are actually really bad ideas. But for the
Yeah.
Patreonies, I've got an idea that I want to run by you guys to help make it worth their while. Right now, they are simply supporting us for the sake of supporting us. We haven't
Because they're good people.
offered any bonus content in a long time, and we do appreciate you guys keeping fueling the jet. And hopefully soon we'll have a new incentive to become a Patreon. So if you'd like to jump on board and support the show for the sake of supporting it, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Slamfire Radio. Look us up, and you can support us for as little as $1 a month or as much as 50 BMG a month. It's really up to you. Another way that you can show support for the show is, remember earlier we talked about Cabela's having shooting mats on sale? So you're going to go there, you're going to buy one, right? Well,
Yep.
what we need you to do is go to slamfireradio.com first, click on the affiliate link, then go buy it, and we'll get a piece of that action. So by shopping at Cabela's through our affiliate link, you are supporting our show, and we really appreciate that. So if you're going there anyway, just go through us, and that'd be great. So shout outs. My shout outs go to Lynn and the crew at the Hampton Range for putting on another successful level 3 match. Thank you so much for all the hard work. More than most people, understand what is involved in pulling off what you pulled off. And as always, you guys went above and beyond, did a fantastic job, and I hope to see you all soon. So thanks again. Great job. I really appreciate all your hard work. Adriel, what you got? Okay. Kelly, what you got?
I just wanted to say thank
Uh,
you to. Okay,
Nope,
go back.
sorry, Adriel. Ship
Adriel.
has sailed. You should have been paying attention. Go ahead, Kelly.
I was on mute.
Good for you. Go
That's
back on
okay.
mute. You're
That's okay.
interrupting. Kelly, you were saying?
I'll just finish up and then you can jump in, Adriel. I just wanted to say thank you to all the ladies that helped with the calendar planning and choosing of photos and all the hard work that we've been doing this week. So thank you very, very much. Just want to say thanks. And I'm super excited about going hunting. So yay. That's it. Adriel.
Alrighty.
Yes, mine is to Rick for pushing Carson to shoot the CRPS. It was going to be
That's-
hard, and he did it.
Yay. That's awesome.
Yep. Back to you, show host. Is he on mute?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not on
No,
mute. I'm
he's
texting
busy
Mo. He
playing,
rescued a wood turtle.
Cherry Crush on his phone there, I think.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what he's
Am I on
doing.
mute?
Yeah.
Or are you guys just not shutting up long enough for me to get a word in edgewise? What is
I
it
don't
here? Can you hear me?
What he's saying.
All right, you're a jerk. Shut
Joe.
up.
Talk. Yeah.
All right, it's time to join the CCFR and get your challenge coin. Did you guys get your coins?
No, not yet.
Loser.
Probably. I don't know. I haven't
her.
checked the mail this week, so I should go
I
do
see.
that.
I'm so important. I don't even check my own mail. I'm Kelly Lynn. I got mine. Filthy got his, I think. Other people have been getting them, so it's pretty awesome. So if you haven't renewed, oh my God, please renew. It's time to renew. And also, you can get over to Gun Owners of Canada. It's a really cool firearms forum with different sections that you can post questions and pictures of guns and share ideas and information, and follow us over there as well. Like us on Facebook, because everything's a contest, and I'm sad to report that we are actually down this week.
Oh,
We
no.
went down in likes, yeah. We are, however, still at 2,702 likes, but we're down. I want to go back up. I missed a couple episodes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
It's
that's
probably
what it is.
like Facebook squashing some people's accounts.
no. It's like, oh, Furlot wasn't on. I'm taking off a like. Oh, Furlot was on. I'm taking off 5 likes. You watch. We're 2,000. We'll probably be at like 2640 next week.
It's all
or
your
something.
fault.
If you have your municipal councilor's ear, you should speak to him about the potential of a gun ban coming to a community near you. Make sure you're going to meetings, being vocal. Let them know that banning gun law, banning handguns from your municipality will do anything to prevent gun crime. It'll just make good people have to move out of the that municipality, and then liberal leftists will fill the void and turn your community to a leftist socialist cesspool. So also, we have a couple of slots available for sponsorship. We've got the Facebook comment section available right now. And oh yeah, we got a sponsor we got to get back to. Remember, we're supposed to send them an email. We suck at that. Yeah, if you want to sponsor us, rule number 1: be patient. Anyway, if you are interested in sponsoring us, please send us email slamfireradio.com. And yeah, if you're listening, the guy who texted me, you know who you are. We'll get back to you. Until next week, everybody, keep your stick on the ice.